welcome back to the Real Sports Talk. I am your host, Bejan, and in this episode today, we are going to tap in with the Seattle Sonics and if they could be getting a new basketball team. We are going to touch on why the Seattle Sonics left and the reasons why we could be getting a new team here in the near future and when. And yeah, so let's get right into it. What's good, gang? Welcome back to the Real Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bejan, and in this segment today, we are going to be tapping in with the Seattle Supersonics. Adam Silver said Sunday night before Game 2, when asked by Shaq if expansion is on the horizon, Shaq asked the question, with everything going so well, do you see in the near future more expansion teams like you hear Seattle and Vegas? And Adam Silver responded back, quote, "It is a possibility," close quote. The mayor of Seattle has said multiple times that over the years that he expects a team to be here. He was on the record saying that he believes that the Seattle will be getting a team here super soon. He said, Seattle is positioned better than any other city in the country to gain an NBA basketball team because we have both the financing here and a great stadium. If it can be done here, it's going to be done here, Harrell said. And we are not talking about like 5 years from now. We are talking much, much shorter window, which is very promising, and that's really good to hear, especially if you are a Seattle fan. Howard Schultz was the owner of the Seattle Supersonics at the time. He ended up selling the team for $350 million on July of 2006. And then on April 13th of 2008, the Seattle Supersonics played their last game in Key Arena, where they ended up beating the Mavs 99-95. Then 5 days later, the NBA approved the relocation of the Supersonics to OKC. If you are a sports fan, this name might ring a bell a little bit. Former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer offered to pay for the Sonics to pay Burnett in 2008 and pay half of the Key Arena costs, which was going to be $300 million at the time, and then the city would have to cover the rest. Later on, the city was largely opposed to that, and then they denied it eventually because the cost would be between 300 and 500 million, and they were not up for it. Steve Ballmer ended up saying, though, he said, I'm sure we'll someday wind up with a problem solved and with a basketball team here in Seattle, Ballmer told this local news station at the time. One of the things that I thought was really interesting, and as I was watching some videos, the owner of the Kraken, who is a big sports fan, he says that they have all of the facilities are up to date for the NBA. They are ready to go. All they got to do is just get a team there. And I think that's really important because that was one of the reasons why Seattle left at the time, or the Sonics left at the time, was because Key Arena, if you've been to Key Arena, you know it is a dump there, or was a dump. And now Climate Pledge Arena, which they paid $1.2 billion for, which is just crazy to think about. But yeah, this is something that's going to be happening here super soon. As I was saying earlier with the Adam Silver comment, Adam Silver said, he also went on to say that they're waiting on the CBA agreement to be up, which will be done at the end of the 2024 season. And then at that point, they will probably add 2 more teams because they will have a whole brand new TV deal, which I'm hearing is up to $75 billion. Adding another team though to the league would bring them about $3 billion per team, according to Bill Simmons. With another, I'm not sure how much the TV deal is now, but I can guarantee it's not 75 million. With that, they have plenty of money now. They're gonna have plenty of money. One of the things was, the reason why this is so prevalent now is because of COVID. A whole bunch of teams lost a lot of money, especially the smaller teams that are in it for the profit, that are in it this is how they make money. This is how their family makes money. They lost a lot of money, like the Bucks, like those smaller market teams like Portland, lost a lot of money. One thing that I think is interesting. In this time in 2008, Flo Rida had the number one song with T-Pain called Low. Obama was reelected. They had the MacBook Air had just came out, and the Boston Celtics had just beat the Lakers 4-2 in the NBA Finals that year. Just to give you a little brief like of what was going on in 2008. That was a crazy year. As I was saying, the Seattle Seahawks should, or the Seattle Supersonics should be here. I'm going to say by the 2025 season. Once the CBA agreement is up in 2024, I'm not going to put anything on it yet, but I really think that Seattle could be getting a team here super